Happy New Year! Hello and welcome. We are talking about the books I plan on reading in January. We're going to call this mostly an MBR because most of them are undecided, as I've been very indecisive as figuring out what to put on this list up until right now before hitting record, and I added one more to my stack. Okay, so I'm Morgan. I hope you enjoy. You want to stick around and read some of these with me, or let me know your thoughts if you have already picked some of these up, because most of these are backlisted books. There will be weird pauses as my son's upstairs playing Bug Island. I don't know. He's playing a game where he keeps dying. So there's a lot of yelling in the background sometimes. So I put up a community post of which series should we start with first this year, kind of like we did with Sun Eater last year. And I stuck with mostly trilogies. One of them was a duology. That one would have been easier to knock out too. It only took 2 months. But by a landslide, this one won. And that would be The Three-Body Problem by Shizhen Liu. I mispronounced the first name, probably. And translated by Ken Liu. And this one also has, the adaptation, which I've already seen the first season. But I have heard that they are different, and I want to dive into that too. This one, though, takes place in 2 separate timelines. We're starting in 1967 when Yi Wenji witnesses Red Guards beat her father to death during China's Cultural Revolution. This singular event will shape not only the rest of her life, but also the future of mankind. 4 decades later, Beijing police ask nanotech engineer Wang Miao to infiltrate a secretive cabal of scientists after a spate of inexplicable suicides. Wang's investigation will lead them to a mysterious online game and immerse him in a virtual world ruled by the intractable and unpredictable interaction of its 3 sons. Okay, between the 2 of them, I almost feel like I should film later, but I really need to get this done. Really need to. The other one would be The Lost House by Melissa Larson. This is a thriller book that was supposed to be on my December Lightfall as well, but I did not get to it. And it's a young woman with a haunting past who returns to her ancestral home in Iceland to investigate a gruesome murder in her family. 40 years ago, a young woman and her infant daughter were found buried in the cold Icelandic snow, lying together as peacefully as though sleeping, except that the mother's throat had been slashed and the infant drowned. The case was never solved. There were no arrests, no convictions, just a suspicion turned into a certainty. The husband did it. When he took his son and fled halfway across the world to California, it was proof enough of his guilt. Now, nearly half a century later and a year after his death, his granddaughter Agnes is ready to clear her grandfather's name once and for all. Still recovering from his death and a devastating injury, Agnes wants nothing more than an excuse to escape the shambles of her once stable life, which is why she is so readily accepts true crime expert Nora Carver's invitation to be interviewed for her popular podcast. So those are the for sure TBRs. Probably, I kind of want to do that one, but I need to do that one first because it's release date and whatnot. Then, let's start our MBRs. Because of my Christmas book haul that you will see next week maybe, I really should continue the Keep It or List It episodes to make room. So, instead of doing the spinner wheel though, I am just going to pick the first book for that challenge, and that's going to be Omen of Ice by Jess Accardo, because ice, when I first got it, I was like, this feels like a winter book, because it's a world trapped in ice and stuff. Well, I don't know if it's trapped in ice, but it takes place in, icy time. So it's like, this is a winter book. So this January, I'm actually going to read it. I don't remember what it's about at all. Keltana Toon has spent her whole life training to become a bodyguard for a winter fae. See? Winter. It's the highest of honors for a druid. Only when Tiana arrives at the winter court for the first time, nothing is as she expected. What she expected. Her assignment is the heir to the throne, Valen, and he doesn't want her protection. In fact, he wants her gone. Yesterday. But Tiana will not compromise, even if he is the most arrogant jackass she ever met, because something isn't right in the winter court. Our other hopefuls through the month that I really is optimistic to pick all of these, and it'll just see what I pick up. Because I was like, ooh, I should continue this one. Ooh, maybe I could start this one because I really wanted to start this one. It was the other one on the poll. And it was the second highest one on the poll. And that would be Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. This is a chunker though. So I don't know but maybe. We'll probably have to see, because Shelly had mentioned she's going to be planning on rereading it in next year too. And I also do have it on audiobook, so I can do audio and physical together when I do it. So I might wait and see when she's going to start it, and we'll work through the chunkums together. But another one though that I should try to get to, because that's the last in the series, not the first, would be Fury of the Gods by John Gwynne. So the last of the Bloodsworn trilogy, even though I have seen some mixed feelings about the book. And you know, well, I had mixed feelings about the first book anyway. We should get to this. We should knock out the trilogy and be like, woohoo! In January, we actually completed a series. Wouldn't that be cool? Yes, it would. So maybe we do this one. Maybe. And the last option, at least that I'll mention today, because, oh no wait, it's not the last option for today. The last physical book for the day though, would be Guardian of the Drowned Empire by Frankie Diane Malice, even though I have no hope of catching up with the series before the next book actually releases. Ooh, maybe before it physically releases, I suppose. Even though the covers are like completely different too now, which is sad, because I love these covers. They're just really epically cool looking. As we're following Lear, and she is still in the Guardian training, right? Isn't that what it was called at the school for people who were, you know, going to be warriors and strengths and everything? And she doesn't have magic, but she's doing this to protect her family, as she is third in line to her kingdom's throne. But technically, only women can inherit it and rule, and her father is in charge, and that's causing a lot of tension within the place, because why hasn't he handed it off to her oldest sister? But there are secrets and hiddens, and while they rule this land, they are ruled overall by an emperor that rules over several lands. And forbidden love, which what I feel like is happening, maybe why they're not supposed to be together, because there is this blood bond between your trainer and you. It's like, or your mentor and you. It's normally an older student. Mentors, like one just going into the academy. It might be something like the parabatai bond is what I'm feeling. I don't know. I'll have to keep reading to find out. So I would like to get to this one because I really like the world and the intriguing and the magic system. And the last one would also be a new series to start, and I'm gonna, while this is traditionally published now and I could pick up a physical copy, I'm gonna go with the KU version. That would be Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman. That one, well, it's been everywhere, right? It is following Coast Guard vet Carl as the world has been invaded by aliens and turned into a giant dungeon maze for intergalactic entertainment. And he and his ex-girlfriend's cat, Princess Donut, are trying to battle through this dungeon and level up together. As far as I know, it's a lit RPG type fantasy progression, but it's just blown up. Everybody's loving it. It sounds really cool and it sounds funny. So I want to like get this in between maybe some of the others as like a lighthearted thing to dive into. And that's my hopefuls. And I do already have the KU version in my library, so yeah, hopefully. I would love to get the audiobook too, because I heard that the audio experience and the narrator, the way he does it, is just amazing. I'm gonna reel in the babbling now because we're going off on a sidetrack, so we'll stop. I would love to know what you guys are planning to read in January. If you're gonna read any of these, feel free to join me on Discord to talk about it. One of my New Year's resolutions is definitely to post more consistently updates with those. It's really hard when your brain tells you everything you're typing is stupid and you shouldn't say that. But I'm gonna try to push through that. Very hard, because I would like to talk to you guys about it. You know, especially some of the big books that everybody has thoughts and opinions on. And with this one, like with the Sun Eater and what I was supposed to do with Stormlight, and kind of that fell off, especially the vlog part of Stormlight, spoilers, fell off real hard. But that was a reread. That doesn't excuse it, but vlogging, first reactions, thoughts, feelings, and a dedicated review to all three of the, well, let's not commit to all three until we get through the first book and see if we actually like it. Hopefully, because we're going to own all three as soon as they come in the mail, because this is the Broken Binding edition. Okay, that's that, and fun things planned for January. Like, have the book haul video coming up soon, the Keep It or List It video that'll also be probably the end of January. We'll probably try to do, that'll be like the last video of the month. Other thoughts and ideas for 2025 that we're gonna go through. So I really hope that you will subscribe and stick around for all the future things. And of course, any videos that you particularly want to see that you think would be a really cool idea and you don't see people doing, feel free to list it in the comments, and I'd love to know what all of you are reading in January. Did I already say that? I don't know. I hope you're having an awesome day, finding something great to read, and I'll see you in the next one.